Hey guys, welcome to another session of RBTL. We got a dev note. So dev notes are usually probably more exciting to me because it leaves a lot of room for speculation. Now, I was gonna go into this video saying that I have a ton to speculate on, but I was told by my community don't speculate on stuff because they said themselves that it turns them off when a content creator speculates on stuff and then proves that they're wrong. So I'm not gonna hard speculate, but I'm gonna bring in, if I can, bring in some, best estimated kind of like thoughts on certain things. But I won't. I would definitely not, be raging at certain news things just because I'm speculating that it's gonna be the way that I think it will be. If I don't like it, but everything in the dev note so far, it looks really exciting to me. Even before I go on, I'll preface this. If you are a new viewer and a new follower for my content, you would know that I talked about this in our top 10 reasons why you should play Epic 7. That Epic 7 is heavily PvP oriented, so a lot of this dev note update will actually be talking about PvP. I really do think that PvP is one of the most essential parts of this game, and it's very, very fun. But I understand it's not for everyone. So even if the developers actually change these things in Arena, I don't think a lot of people will still do it. To be honest, it's a personality thing. I think it's definitely not because the game did a bad job doing PvP for Season 1. So I'm going to highlight this here. So we're going to be talking about start of Arena Season 2. A lot of exciting things in Season 1. We got, we got a first glimpse of what the PvP is like in the game. And I think this is going to be the first time that this game, even in the Korean server, of course, and the Asia servers, we're all going to get this changed together when it comes Arena Season 2. So no one really knows what it's going to be like. But it seems that plenty of stuff has changed, and again, they have kind of catered it to bringing in or reaping in more players to try out the arena. One thing is that they're going to be here. So Arena Season 2, players will be dropped down by 2 leagues after weekly ranking change, which is really good. So right now, if you're playing in the arena and you're in, let's say, Challenger, and you climb all the way up to the top, once the weekly arena resets, you have to grind from Challenger again. But now apparently you only drop down by 2 leagues. So I don't know, Terror might actually be grinding to the top. I don't know, but you're getting a ton of rewards. So Terror, again, a guy on my guild, one of my friends, he's grinded all the way to the top, like number 1 before, just for the fun of it. Really crazy. But I don't know, now with this dropping 2 leagues thing, I think a lot of people will actually try to race to the top, again with better rewards as well per week. I think it's something to look forward to. I myself, I don't think I'm at the skill level to be there. I think I'm gonna be forever Challenger, at least for a very long time. We intend to update the upper tier matching system so players are up against more formidable and adequate opponents. Yeah, I don't know what it's like currently in the matchmaking system in the upper tier, and even what upper tier means. But if it makes it harder, it's definitely going to be very competitive. So this is what I think is going to happen. Even though that they're kind of making Arena kind of more accessible to newer players, they're also making it so that the hardcore players are like really going to get more hardcore. The problem with that is I think they're going to still see the same effect. But again, this is the speculation. Probably people are not going to be so happy about me speculating on this. But one of my speculations is that we're still going to see the same thing. People who are not interested in Arena will climb a bit higher than they were before, but because with all the people, you have to think of the pool of people playing in Arena now. The hardcore player is going to be more hardcore, the mid-tier player is going to be more hardcore as well, and they're going to push to the top. And that means that the lower level players will never be able to push that high. It will make everything competitive, but at the end, if everything goes around about and it balances it out, all the weaker players or lower tier players will be less likely to continue anyway. So this is my thinking for it. While it's really cool, everyone's gonna basically get more rewards, and I think the emphasis is more of them, not capping their arena flags and just actually try it out. I think that's gonna be the main difference. Not for everyone to race to the top. I think that's not the purpose of this change. So you see here, there will be a win streak up to 10 wins, and if you can get up to 10 streaks, you get more conquest points, and you have a continuous combat reward there. So you do get sky stones now in regular PvP, it seems, based on this screenshot, and not just the NPCs. So that's kind of cool. I know a lot of people, you know, they kind of grind, you know, regular arena, you know, versus players for a while, and then they kind of revert back to NPCs because it's just easy. They don't have to fuss about it. They just get it done, and then they get some sky stones as a reward. We won't know 100% though if the sky stone rewards are only for, you know, like real PvP and not NPC battles. But I'm assuming it is. I'm assuming that they're trying to drive players to actually do real PvP. So with these changes, areas with enough skill and capability are able to reach higher levels and tiers more easily. Okay, so yeah, so this is pretty cool. Yeah, so it does say it. The bonus will only apply to attacks and will not be affected by NPC challenges. Okay, so it's said it even before I even read it. Another thing is, this is cool. I really like this new change. You get your arena information all laid out. When I played Call of Duty back in the days, you know, I think everyone really loved looking at their stats. They really kill to death ratio, all that kind of stuff, like kill streaks, like highest kill streak and all that. This is really cool. Everybody loves statistics, and I really do believe that their reasoning for this. So this feature allows players to view the statistic and better organize and research team composition for hero development. I really do think that this is kind of cool. The only thing that I don't believe that you know, it will really better organize research team and composition is because most of the time, my experience with PvP and a couple of the PvP guys in my guild, we have the same experience. You don't really keep track of your defense losses and your victory losses, in the sense that you want to see the whole thing, because most likely if you just look at your battle history, your battle log, you see like a couple defense wins, you're just like, okay, this defense team is working, and then you just leave it at that. If you see a couple defense losses, actually a ton of defense losses, you're just like, okay, I need to work on my defense team. So I don't think an overall, like, you know, statistic thing will really change how you know, cater your team. That's my thinking, at least for me. Like, I know that the statistic thing will probably be more just for flexing, you know, flexing in your community. It's just like, hey, look at all these defense wins I've got, but it won't really help you develop your defense team. Developing defense team and offense teams happen in real time. So whether within the day or within the week or even within the month, depending on where you are in the game. But either way, it's still cool to see this kind of stuff. I really do like that aspect. Another thing is that we are going to get a new Unknown Slate and Arena Season 2 equipment. Now, this is... Okay, so I'm going to say this. This has caused quite an outrage for some people in the past. So people who kind of like neglected Arena Season 1, and Unknown Slate was removed even before Arena Season 1 really ended. We're in what we call pre-season now, so technically Arena Season 1 did end, but I would still consider this pre-season as almost Arena Season 1. They could have left the Unknown Slate a bit, but they were fairly warned. The Unknown Slate is gonna go, purchase it now, and then people were complaining. It's like, hey man, I can't purchase it. But the Unknown Slate was actually really easy. If you grinded Arena, even the NPC battles for a whole week, you can get it pretty much. Yes, maybe you require a couple of refreshes depending on how many of your conquest points you used, but honestly, it's nothing to QQ about. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate and dislikes for it, but seriously man, it's your own problem, man. You neglected it, but this time you will learn. In Season 2, you got a new Unknown Slate, and for people who don't know what Unknown Slates are, very valuable resource. Unknown Slates is really an imprint for any hero, but it's so valuable that you might have a hard time choosing it. I use my Season 1 Unknown Slate for a Luna. A lot of people would be like, hey man, that's such a waste. I would definitely, in the meta that it's going right now, I would definitely save Unknown Slates for 5-star or 4-star high-end heroes that have speed imprints. So someone like Vildred comes to mind. Vildred would probably be very important, unless there's a Vildred banner and you keep pulling him. Otherwise, his speed imprint is excellent. Probably one of the best imprints there is. There's also Arena Season 2 equipment, and you could look at this. This is going to be level 88 equipment. This is going to be pretty hype. I have no idea what set it's going to be. I'm not going to speculate that. But if you were here for Arena Season 1 and you purchased the Arena equipment, lucky you. It is still some of the best equipment out there in the game, even if you're trying to roll it. The only thing right now, of course, with the meta shift, gears at level 71 do lack a bit of punch. And most likely people will be farming Golem and Wyvern and Banshee to try to cover level 71 or old set gear. But level 88 gear, I've said this in previous videos before, is only available for drop in Hell raids right now, which you can see this shifting. If this is going to be coming as free, I'm going to call this free, grindable free gear. We're going to be seeing level 88 stuff in probably the next 1 or 2 Abyss patch releases. Wait. Red Ruby's like, anyone notice that first hero that place number 1 has? Definitely not Judge Kisei, and people were like, it's Judge Kisei. So funny. Yeah, so there's another thing called Glory Crests. It can be set at the end of the season. Don't worry, get them before it's too late. I'm not quite sure. These Glory Crests, I don't know what they're gonna really look like. So apparently you can use them to buy the unknown slates. You can buy the equipment with them, and you can buy these frames. So if you look at the image here, you see the first, second, third place. Those are glory frames apparently. So if you keep up in your tier ranking in Arena, so these are high tier stuff. These are really high tier stuff. So if you're regular like day-to-day player, don't expect to get those frames too easily. But I'm actually not quite sure if you can just purchase them. Could you just purchase them even if you're not high tier? But then you'd be called a flaker. I don't know. Maybe I'm speculating too much there. Maybe there's information I'm kind of skipping. Another thing is honored players will be in like the Hall of Fame. I don't really need to cover it. I think it's just like a kind of a nice kind of flexing thing. So every single person on the server will know who is number 1. That is, I guess that's a somewhat of a achievement. Yay, you have your life is completed. Okay, so hero rebalancing. This is what I wanted to speculate on, but I was told not to speculate, so let's not, because it is a waste of time. So basically, I've mentioned this again in my top 10 video, that they are really good at rebalancing heroes. It's good for overall in-game economy because it makes heroes that are neglected. So if you pulled salty heroes, you can now use them if they make the changes for them. If you have if there's OP heroes in the arena and you don't even have them, and you just rage, they might get nerfed. So we don't know who is exactly going to get affected on these changes. They specifically said though, we also plan to balance overpowered heroes who severely affect the current meta with no counters. I honestly don't know what no counters mean. I really don't know what it means, honestly. So there's too much room for speculation, because I can speculate on what that means and kind of define it any way I want, and then speculate on the heroes that have effectiveness for it. So I'm going to take the advice of my community and not go down this rabbit hole. But regardless, more hero balances will be posted, so more detailed info will be posted at a later date. Very important to know that it's coming later, so let's not get too insanely angry at anything. Because one of the things I wanted to speculate was DN getting nerfed, but not in a serious sense. I was joking, because DN is still pretty annoying. I have DN, so I mean I don't really want her to be nerfed, so that was just for fun. Anyways, MolaGora improvements, very big thing. I was gonna make this top 10 things that Epic 7 should improve on. One of the things I wanted to say was the MolaGora improvements. They're already gonna do it. So like I said, this is just proving exactly what I said in my top 10 list. They're really good. They hear us and they make changes for it. And the thing is, they don't want to make it too easy for us, so we do have to understand, like, it's not going to be a piece of cake. You're not going to be like skill enhancing like all your heroes max enhancements in day one. But it definitely, all the stuff that I'm reading here looks good to me. So if you were here from the first week-ish, first month of the game, you know that there's a concept called MolaGora Goras, which I've explained on another video, that you really needed like 4 to 5 MolaGora to be able to get a MolaGora Go, and then you needed multiple MolaGora Goes in order to get a MolaGora Gora to skill enhance like your units to the max enhancements. That was just insane, and they already reduced that since then, that skills only require MolaGora Goes. But now they're making it even easier for us to obtain MolaGoras and MolaGora Goes, so this is really good. So if you take a look here, so number of obtainable MolaGoras has been limited, exactly our complaint. Serves as a huge roadblock, which is exactly it, because no one knew what to invest in, so all your heroes ended up being like, kind of like half there, and if one is overpowered, the other ones are kind of neglected, so it's kind of, it really makes pulling for heroes kind of pointless in a way, because you would never get them to where you want them to be by the week that they're released, and then by 2 weeks later, where you haven't even skill enhanced them to where you want them to be, there's a new banner with a new hero that you want to pull and you want to skill enhance. And I think the main concern that they're seeing is that problem. If people are not able to get their heroes up to the place that they want, why are people pulling for specific heroes? Because they're saving it for other heroes or saving it for a better hero that down the line. So overall, good for everyone, good for them, good for us. So they're also going to be, let's see here. It's said somewhere here, but I'll probably just summarize it. I don't need to read it exactly. But they're going to be allowing us to recall some of the MolaGora enhancements. I would assume that would be all of them, depending on the system. Depending on the system that they implement here, possibly all of the MolaGoras that we can recall, but maybe not. Maybe only up to a certain skill, you know. Depends on where they kind of like improve the MolaGora skill enhancement, because I think probably skills like skill enhancement +1 to +3, you probably won't see that much changes. I'm only guessing the +4 to 5 and plus. Okay, so Ali and Ravi just confirmed. So yes, he's like, they will refund, so they will lower the enhancement cost, so they will get refunded the difference. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So not all of them, but the difference. That's interesting. So you probably can't recall your heroes then, but you get refunded the difference that you have invested into them as additional. That would be nice. That would be kind of nice. But anyways, that's too much speculation. Another thing is important is that the MolaGora Goes were really hard to obtain, because they were RNG from Hoochie if you trade for 4 MolaGoras. I talked about this before. Or you can go to this goblin guy, which you have to trade 5 MolaGora, which is arguably 2 weeks, 1.5 weeks, let's say. But you have to wait 2 weeks in order to trade it. And Hoochie was RNG. So they believe that it's inaccessible for players to enter Labyrinth just to find Hoochie. And it's not only that. It forced players to go to Labyrinth just to find Hoochie, but also you had to see if Hoochie had it for that day, which is just incredibly annoying. So therefore, players now will be able to exchange 4 MolaGoras and 1 MolaGora Go in the in-game shop, which is great. And then Hoochie will now never sell the MolaGoras, but will sell charms at a cheaper price, which is also a good thing. That's an additional benefit that I actually didn't really care about, but that's good to have. So now that it's accessible, you can now really plan out, okay, on this week, I'm gonna get my skill enhancement to +4 on, let's say, Kayron. On next week, I'm gonna save for Charles, etc., because no longer you need to rely on RNG. No longer do you need to always hold on to a minimal of 4 MolaGoras in order for your chance to find Hoochie in the shop to trade for a MolaGora Go. And then, so it's better planning overall. Jared's like, yeah, is your Kayron +4? No. Sadly. Catalyst improvements. This is really cool too. I actually, after even reading this, I'm not 100% sure how it works, but they did say that they are going to give us more details on it. So again, more room for speculation, but no need to speculate. Regardless, apparently, you get these things called contribution points, and you can trade these contribution points for some catalysts that are refreshed weekly, if that's correct. That's kind of interesting, and I mean, we're seeing some previews here down here. Goods 20 heavenly stone. It looks like sky stone, but you know, again, I have no idea what that looks like. This lesser charge enhancement reset thing is kind of cool too. Probably like boosts like bonuses when you're enhancing your charms, but you do have to trade these contribution points, which again, we don't know how easily they are to obtain and how you obtain them. But regardless, it's very interesting. I really like these. I always like these new features that will, you know, change the game dynamic. The top one is called 20 heavenly stone too. What? Never mind. Going off topic here. But anyways, yeah, so it's like exchange will have a weekly limit, so most likely will probably refresh, and I'm guessing it's going to be random, as we have stuff like that. This feature will be able to attain desired catalyst with enough farming. They might increase the rates of the drops too, I'm guessing. Epic catalysts are probably the things that we need the most improvement on, not even regular catalysts. Regular catalysts are always nice, but if it's purchasable as well, epic catalyst, that'd be good. That'd be really good. Let's see here. They're also working on additional experience in gold. Oh, this is important. There's a timed event where players will be unequipped and re-equipped equipment for free. So in the history of the game up to this point, we have had it once, and people have taken advantage of that to re-gear and re-look at all their heroes. But again, we have no idea when it's coming. Okay, so it's just concluding the main talking points for this month. It's just talking points. It doesn't mean it's coming this month. So again, if you need to make your adjustments, do them, but don't do like a full team, you know, rework. All right, wait for this. In other news, we have collaboration in the making. So this is what I said in RBTL and the previous video with Surmia. Is that there is a collaboration confirmed now here in the dev notes. Hopefully it's going to have a pity summon thing, and hopefully it's going to be good. This is the first collab, so I'm kind of nervous for Epic 7, because I'm personally not really for collabs, but if they make it high quality, you know, who am I to be against it? So also new continent was announced really early on, but here it's more teased. So this is very cool. Stuff to look forward to down the line, and I think we'll cover it when we get the actual info on it. But you know, hopefully that has been useful. So I'm gonna end this here. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next Reading Between the Lines.